Hello friends, it's me, and today let's watch Food Theory. I tried the burn what you eat diet from the Food Theories. Together, let's go. Let's start.
Do you know what it takes to burn this, or this, or this? Okay, that last one just took Gandalf on a horse. But Amy and I spent days burning off every calorie we ate to see just how difficult it is to burn what we eat. And let me tell you, this may be the episode that ruins our friendship forever. Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory, the show that's here to answer burning questions and burn some calories. And we're all out of calories. You see, the idea for today's episode
Alright, hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory. Hi.
It came from a trend I was seeing, including people darn near as handsome as I am, showing what it takes to burn off certain foods. And it got me thinking about my own eating habits and my own body, wondering if I'm really understanding what I'm taking in and what I'm burning off. To be clear, this isn't about dieting or weight loss, it's about being in tune with your nutrition regardless of what your goal is, whether it's to stay the same as you are, or maybe you are looking to gain or lose some weight. Whatever the case, the human body is a burning machine. And today we're putting ourselves through absolutely no fun at all to answer one simple question. How hard is it to burn what we eat? At first glance, it may not seem like a hard answer, but it's a lot more complicated than it seems. There's a number of factors that go into burning calories that can radically change from person to person. That's why I voluntold Amy to participate in this experiment with me, to have male and female representatives, as well as someone with a vegetarian diet to see how that affects our goals. This is where I have to call out that this experiment is just me and her, because asking people to burn off everything they eat over the holidays apparently leads to my emails conveniently not being read until after we all got back from break. Thanks.
Yeah, what a coincidence! Conveniently. What a coincidence!
Guys. But we have a ways to go before we hop on our treadmill so that we can have breakfast, because we have to set some ground rules for this little experiment. First, we're not only eating what our watches say we burn during our exercise, because that would put us in a potential caloric deficit of thousands of calories. What do I mean by that? The short answer is you burn calories just by existing. The long answer is TDEE. And yeah, that is the long answer, despite the name. You see, TDEE stands for Total Daily Energy Expenditure, and it includes the calories your body burns through four major components: your basic body functions like breathing and your heart pumping, your digestion, your general movement throughout the day, and things like that weird noise Tom makes whenever he opens his mouth.
You mean talking?
That's the one. And finally, physical activity. Physical activity typically accounts for 15 to 30% of your TDEE. So if we were to only eat the calories we burn from our exercise, we would be in a major deficit, meaning we will have burned way more calories than we will have fed our bodies. And that has a huge amount of bad things that can come as a consequence, like hair loss, mood swings, fatigue, and weirdly, constipation. For our experiment, Amy and I will be accounting for our TDEE when it comes to how much food we eat. So here's how it'll break down. First, Amy and I have to figure out how many calories we burn as a baseline. This is what's known as your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. Basically, this is your metabolism. It'll function as our banked calories, or the amount that we're allotted as a baseline for the whole day. There's a few equations to calculate this. One is known as the Harris-Benedict equation, named after the two men who published a paper on the subject. It's probably the one you find on most of those BMR calculator websites. But a newer, slightly more accurate equation was introduced in the 90s, known as the Mifflin-St. Jean equation. This is the one that we used for more accuracy. That said, I cannot stress enough that these equations are solely estimations. They don't and can't take into account things like health conditions, muscle mass, or body composition. So if you decide to do this for yourself, take it with a pile of salt, which is fine because hey, salt is 0 calories. So despite not being the most accurate thing in the world, because of its widespread usage, we're implementing it in our experiment. For me, I calculated a BMR of 1,830. Amy came out to 1,320. You can see there's already a massive difference between the two, and even though it may sound like plenty, we were about to find out just how little it was. But you know what the best part of this grueling experience was? Having Cook Unity take the guesswork of what I'd eat throughout this. Trust me, with how hangry and tired I was, the last thing I wanted to do was go to the grocery store and cook for myself. Having meals delivered to my door and ready in minutes not only freed my time up for more more treadmill walking. Yippee. But it was just nice having nutritious and delicious meals that I didn't have to think about. I love Cook Unity because every dish is so different from the other and actually taste fresh and different. Not like some others that I've tried that all end up tasting like the same thing over and over. Plus, it's actually cheaper than groceries, so it was a win-win-win-win. Win? Was that 4 or 5
Wins.
4. Well, here's the fifth. Each meal is made with quality ingredients and prepared by award-winning chefs. And it doesn't matter if you'll eat anything like me or if you're a vegetarian like Amy. You can customize your meals to suit your nutritional and dietary needs. So that's actually a win-win-win-win-win-win. And if you want to make a win-win-win-win-win-win-win for yourself, make sure to go to the link in the description below and use the code FOODTHEORY to get 50% off your first order of these chef-made meals delivered fresh to your door. I'm not kidding or exaggerating when I say these meals are packed with flavor. And who doesn't love saying win-win-win-win-win-win-win? So go to the description below and use the code FOODTHEORY to get 50% off your first order. Thank you again to Cook Unity for sponsoring today's episode. Now let's go back to feeling the burn. Like I mentioned before, BMR is only one of the 4 major components of TDEE. To get to that number, the commonly used equation is multiplying your BMR by your activity level. Problem is, this introduces a pretty big margin of error. Take me, for example. I work out 5 to 6 times a week. On paper, this puts me in the moderately active category. But considering I spend the rest of my day mostly at my desk toiling away at theories and creative insults and comebacks for my coworkers, it's more likely that I'm in the lightly active category. Depending on where you put yourself, the end result can vary by hundreds of calories. So, to be safe and hate ourselves a little bit more, we kept the activity level to the most modest level, which gave me a grand total of 2,196 calories and Amy 1,584. With that, we've got step 1 complete. We know how many calories the two of us are allotted for the day, and now begins the torture. So for the next 3 days, we're going to be looking at 3 different levels of caloric expenditure. First is going to be our normal one. That's our base, that's our maintenance level. So by the end of these 3 days, we're going to see what it takes to burn off what you eat and see the challenges and obstacles that people may encounter when they want to maintain, lose, or gain weight. Starting at 500 calories below our banked calories meant I had about 1,700 to work with, while Amy had a measly 1,000. Immediately, I knew this was gonna be hard. I'm not someone that likes to eat a bunch in the morning. My breakfast usually consists of black coffee and a bowl of dry oatmeal with some granola.
Wait. Did you just say you ate your oatmeal dry?
I will not be judged. I will not be judged. Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay.
Dry oatmeal with granola. It usually sets me back around 400 to 500 calories in total, which on a normal day sets me up nicely for the meals that I do like to eat a lot at.
I'm so happy for you. Meanwhile, my morning coffee took up almost a fifth of what I had to work off for that entire day.
No wonder you're so cranks.
I heard that.
Well, I said it loud. Anyway, for us to get food into our very hungry bellies, it only meant one thing: walking. Walking a lot. Oh, come on, Amy. Put a little oomph in your step.
I will actually kill you. Check my lore. I will do it.
The most difficult thing about being
Okay, that escalated way too quickly.
at a caloric deficit is that our bodies are designed to store food when they realize it's hard to find. Meaning that when your body is used to a certain amount of calories and it doesn't get them, it actually makes you hungrier. Stupid body. But as counterintuitive as it sounds, it makes sense. You see, when your body suddenly experiences a sudden and drastic drop in caloric intake, it increases the production of the hunger hormone, ghrelin. It does this to signal your brain that you need to eat more food to compensate for the shortage. For our ancestors,
And it takes a lot of disciplines, a lot of mindset, a lot of control, a lot of balance, a lot of distraction in this world, so and so forth, to override this message from the brain. Yeah.
it motivated them to go out and hunt and gather some more. Unfortunately for us, it meant getting on our walking pads, and not at convenient times.
1 salad and 2 Uncrustables put me 100 calories over because Santi is a jerk and did this during the holidays. So, while I walk, you can write in the comments how much Santi sucks.
Seeds! How much Santi succeeds at this challenge.
Yeah! How much Santi succeed?
nailed it. But Amy wasn't the only one experiencing obstacles. I had a snack which actually put me at about 400 or 500 calories left for dinner. So I actually had to walk for like an hour, hour and a half during my snack, which was only 200 calories, before I went to the gym. And let me tell you, going to the gym hungry is not a recipe for success. And honestly, by the end of the day, I just felt like eating was a stress because I was so short on calories, but still so hungry that I ended up watching Claudia eat like a creeper at a mall food court just so I could live vicariously through her. The maintenance day, aka our normal everyday day, started off with me being ravenous since I went to bed still hungry, which meant having to take Genji on a longer than normal walk. But he's not one to complain. He's a good boy. Unlike a certain someone I know.
You know, I feel like Santi's gonna really make fun of me in this episode because...
Okay, to be fair, Amy is a female, so it's not a good boy, it's a good girl.
I don't eat the meats.
You know, you'd think you'd be a little less hangry on the day that you get to eat, yeah, whatever that is.
What are you talking about? This is delicious. It's a sweet potato with a chickpea salad. It's so good.
It looks like Genji's vomit after he eats his own vomit.
You look like Genji's vomit after he eats his own vomit.
Regardless, eating our maintenance calories was easy peasy. Now, while day 1 was definitely the most challenging, day 3 was the most surprising for both Amy and I, because suddenly I had to eat close to 3,000 calories, while Amy jumped up to slightly over 9,000! Okay, it was slightly over 2,000, but come on.
Yeah.
This increase presented
I thought maybe like, wow, that's a lot. And also, Dragon Ball reference.
its own challenge.
Like, I am trying to think of what else I should eat to get over that hurdle so I can't skip it. And that means I need to add some calories somewhere.
And adding the calories wasn't as easy as either one of us thought. Like I mentioned, my morning breakfasts usually are lower calories, but today I had a snack in between breakfast and lunch because I could see that I was gonna have a lot, especially once I factored in my workout. Not only that, but I still had so many calories to go after my lunch that I had to have yet another snack before my workout. By the end of the day, my dinner had to be substantial. Now, the biggest challenge there was that like I can only eat so much in a meal, but having a little bit of dessert, not so healthy things in order to get to that upper range that I'm allotted for today. And I wasn't the only one having to dip my hand in the proverbial and literal cookie jar.
So this is my final meal of the day, but since I have to go a little bit over, I will be indulging in some chocolate after this. I have some dark chocolate Ferrero Rochers in there, and I'm going to eat as many as I need to hit that extra amount of calories. So, you know what? Thank you, Santi.
Well, isn't she just peachy when her stomach is full? Duly noted. Full Amy equals happy. Hangry Amy equals Jack the friggin' Ripper. What seemed to be a nice change.
Jack the Ripper.
From day 1 ended up with both of us resorting to the less healthy but more calorically dense food options in order to get to our goal. It made me get a new appreciation for all those Marvel super hunks that say things like, oh, it's so much food you get tired of eating, blah blah blah, woe is me, I'm Wolverine. But it's true, by the end of our day, we were struggling to fit more calories into our mouths, especially quote unquote healthy calories. So if you're someone that's looking to lose weight for whatever reason, the obstacle we found is that our bodies don't do well with cutting down on calories. Sure, they do adjust over time, but until then, it's hunger signals all day. Plus, for me, it meant a lack of motivation for things like going to the gym. And like we saw with Amy, it can mean sass and homicidal rage.
Love you too, Santi.
As for those who are looking to gain weight, maybe gain a little bit of mass, looking to get huge, looking to get bulky, looking to get swole, it's a very big challenge. Even 500 calories over our maintenance level every day, which leads to about a pound gain per week, is hard to go through day after day without resorting to those less than optimal foods, especially if you're someone that likes moving around or going to the gym, since you need to make up for calories burned that way. And for me and Amy, one thing we both learned is that burning off what you eat is definitely not something you should force your coworker to do over the holidays. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Buen provecho.
Well, thank you so much, man. I hope you enjoyed this video. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. Subscribe.